But what just showed up, everyone? I got a universal rack from Delfast, shipped to you from Chervenitsy, Ukraine. Don't know how you say that. Or is it Yukpaha, Ukraine? Shipped to New York, JFK first, and delivered to me by my mailwoman. It was pretty crazy. I thought it was going to be FedEx, but it was the USPS. The beast. Oh. Probably the best bicycle rear rack I'll ever get. Jeez. How's the moto seat supposed to get on here? I guess these points, but what about here? I guess it's gonna have to put washers there. Well, I'll take off the motor seat on the other chair, see how that comes apart, and hopefully that'll explain how to put it back on. I should have everything. It's like removing my horse's saddle or something. Check this out. Bam. This bike's gonna be a lot heavier. After I install this, or before maybe, I'm gonna take off these side panels, make it lighter. But then I want to put a new big ass food bag on it. It's gonna make it heavier again. 5 extra pounds. God, what is this? This feels like almost 20. First thing I have to do is take this off here and screw it on here somehow. I'm guessing here and here. This is for the bicycle post seat, so I guess I can keep that on or take it off, make it even lighter. Man, this thing is heavy duty. And something's loose inside of it. You hear that? See if I can get that out. Alright, I'm in like phase 2 of this. I'm unscrewing the screws underneath the moto seats, and then I'm going to transfer the moto seat to the other seat before I do the install, because I figured that's going to be way easier than if it's on this big ass bike. To be continued. Alright, got all of the bolts or screws undone, except for one. And if you are dyslexic doing this, this will suck. Just constantly remind yourself and ask yourself, are you going left? Are you turning left? Okay, if you're uninstalling the moto seats, it's going to be the flat part that goes underneath the seat, and the round part is where the screw inserts. Alright, this is the first time I'm ever going to do this. Oh, that's dirty. I gotta clean the shit out of it. Yeah, it's nice hard steel. That's what the moto seat looks like underneath. Good to know. Clean this up. Then reattach it to the other universal rack I got. So I was wondering if I could reverse it. Nope, not on this, but maybe on the rack. So I can give it more of a banana seat feel. This way it's more forward aggressive. I'm always sliding forward. That's why I got that cushion to put on it so I wouldn't slide forward on it anymore. yeah, just leave that, doesn't matter. It's not going back in there anyways. Oh, there you go. Yes, it's easy to get in and out. So this is a bit different, the way I got to set up this seat. They come with screws unattached. With the previous Delfast moto seat and the bicycle saddle, they come looking like this, pre-assembled with one side sticking out, so you have no choice but to just stick it in. So I had to figure out how to get this in. Not that you guys ever will need to see this, because you probably won't get a Delfast Universal rack, but in case you do, and if you do, it looks like it's a great piece of equipment. Can't wait to try it out. But to get the screw in, you have to enter it through the top slot. So make sure you definitely don't put the moto seat on first. You also can't fit this end with the washer on, so you got to put the washer flush in front of the hole first, and then insert the bolt through there. That's it. Alright, I took off the bicycle saddle seat screws, put on the moto seat, and try to see if the moto seat would go on reverse. It wouldn't, just because the way the screw inserts are set up on the rack. But if you're ever doing this, I definitely recommend you put the top two screws in first for the screws to go into the actual frame, because you won't be able to do that once the moto saddle is on. It looks like you'll have room with the bottom two screws. This is all upside down, by the way. Also, when you're putting on these bolts for the moto saddle, do it upside down so that gravity will push the bolts up. If not, you're going to be working against gravity and it's going to suck. Alright, using this bit to screw these on really helps. Right, in the next phase, I took off my taillight that was attached to this license plate holder thing, which I never had a license plate for it. Maybe I'll get a novelty plate one day, or if we ever have to register these in the future. I want to put some pad on this, and that light's going to go right there. See some more light. Next thing I did was take a hair dryer to that silicone, heated it up and squished it back in because it was coming loose. You can start to see the cables exposed, so that wasn't good. Better now.
I believed in you. I could feel how brave you were, young me. Now I need you to believe in yourself same as I do. Can you do that?
Got the rear light on. Got the side panel off. Got to unscrew this metal side panel. Go and unplug the battery. And unplug the battery from the charging port. Take out the foam. Take out the battery. Put in a food bag. It's too bad I can't do this with the battery in. Oh well. just had to take out the battery, but remember I have to cut some zip ties, get these cables out of the way. And then I gotta zip tie them back up before I get this battery back in. The battery case was starting to rip, so I started to put some electric tape around it. Hopefully that holds. Note to self, I only had to remove one zip tie around these cables and hook it around this top anchor right here. Just remember that. All these cables, one zip tie. I was getting worried for a second. The seat wasn't coming off, it was all stuck to the plastic. I had to pretty much peel it off and made a really loud ripping sound. I wonder if the moto seat came with like some adhesive to help it stick. I don't know. But I'm glad the plastic stayed on. Okay. First attempt to put this on, major fail. These are different than the screws I have on the other moto seat. They come like this. So when you try to put them in, they push back out. So it's almost like you need a second hand. But I'm going to try to use leverage. Okay, got it on. I thought it was going to be easier if I just let it sit at an angle on its kickstand, but it's actually easier to put this thing on when it's leaning against the wall. I had to put a bunch of weights and shit around the wheels so it wouldn't go forward, backwards, or turn left or right on me. But now it's on. It was a pain in the ass. I had to use a yoga block and a back stretching thing to keep the rack upright so I could keep the bolts in flush. Alright, and then I gotta reattach the motor seat, but now I'm going against gravity. God, I need a socket wrench for this. Yet another frustrating bump in the road. The light was attached here, but the cable was this close from reaching. So now I'm going to try to zip tie it to this little bar underneath here, which is definitely not supposed to go. I'm going to put some foam to make it not rattle. See how this goes. Alright, I kind of like the lights down there. Now I got a grip here. Oh, if I don't have a food bag there, I do. I don't know if you can see me in my reflection, but I have my whole hoodie around my motorcycle helmet. Trying trying to show you guys, but I can't easily get the camera off my face mask. Fits the screw on, so I'm just gonna try to show you through this reflection on the Delfast. Alright, take our first spin. First time riding the Delfast with the Universal rack. Oh shit, it's heavier. It's much heavier. Probably want to go slower because of all the extra weight. It's cold. Ugh. I feel lower to the ground too.